Welcome back, gamers, to Let's Play Challenge of the Five Realms, Part 31. Now, with my previous playthroughs, the game actually crashed on me in Freywood, and I had no way of knowing all the way through the playthrough. In Freywood and only Freywood, every person that I would run into, I spent a day trying to fix this issue. Every single person in Freywood I would run into, they'd be fine, and then when I would go to my character like so, and then come back out, they would all be dead. Because of this, it made me actually have to start a new game, as you can see here. And I'm only on day 10 because I fast-tracked this game to get back to finishing this playthrough as soon as possible. In order to fast-track it, I used the methods I showed in my Let's Hack Challenge of the Five Realms videos. As you can see, I have him with 200 hit points, up to 200 magic points, 100 on everything. That was just my basis to use him to look at everyone else's stats and know exactly where everything is. As for the other characters, I just made, the archers, I didn't adjust them at all. Sir Valakor, I made him a really strong magic user. As for King Uramican, I decided to keep him because he has some pretty witty things he says when going to certain towns. And I also made him a magic user and gave him a large amount of hit points. Stellarex, kept him mostly the same, just gave him more hit points. Just gave her more hit points, kept everything else the same, and maxed her magic points to 200, of course. And the Vintrax Knights, they're pretty much just left how they were, didn't adjust any of their stats, except their hit points, which I moved up to 200. Paris Havanus, I made him a magic user as well, gave him 200 magic points, etc., and 200 hit points. Knights of Virtue, I left them how they were, except gave them max hit points. Emperor Claret III, he didn't do anything with him because I plan on, he's my placeholder, is what he is. Alright, and also, if you watch my video for Let's Hack Challenge of the Five Realms, I showed you that there was an item that I changed in my chest to be 20 of that item. And we can see right here, that item is 20 great swords. So, there's that, 20 great swords. Everything else is pretty much caught up. There's only one other thing I did find out. I'm actually playing the Steam version of the game. In my opinion, it is a better version than the one I was using before. The one I was using before was basically the version I've had since I was a little kid that I got in 1994. The Steam version is a little more updated. It doesn't have the need for the raw copy protection. It's already been put through where you just buy it and play it. It's like $5, really cheap. Recommend going ahead and getting that from Steam if you have the ability. But what I found while doing this playthrough is something that maybe it's just not in the version of the game that I had, but I actually found the last component for the open ground spell, and I'm gonna show you where that is now. Now, I've already picked it up, but I still remember exactly where it was. Hell, I can never forget, being as long as I searched for that thing. Magic, Your Highness, will cure the Magic, Your Highness, will cure the poverty that plagues these wizards. I see you have more than one poor beggar in this realm. Humph, we gnomes could teach you some things about prosperity. Prosperity. However you say those weird words. Alright, so the mole, the only one in the game, is in the town of Fremont. I thought that I had remembered it being in the town of Farinor, but these look very similar to Farinor, and the mole is right here where my arrow is. After I got that, I was able to learn the open ground spell. Finally getting the final spell in the game that I have not had in forever. Yes, I'll give you 1 gold. If nothing else, for poor King Aramakan's sake. He really has a heart for these beggars since I showed him that damn spirit lamp. But now, let's go ahead and go to Freywood so we can continue our quest after 2 years of waiting. This is a prime spot for an ambush. Keep your eyes open. Yeah, whatever. Meanwhile, Grimnoth vows to thwart your quest. What a beautiful place this is. Twice yearly is more than enough for this kind of foolery. Any more than that and a man loses his sensibilities. The elves are known for their mischievous ways and such. So let's begin. You seem mighty grim, human. Remove some of that heavy clothing. Tell jokes. Enjoy the day. Be careful, though. As a stranger to Freywood, you are an easy prey to pranksters. And as the Erlenbane family learned, some jokes are deadly. Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really not funny. I mean, Gwen, Rhiannon, and Ton are all left fatherless. Still, when I think of Erlenbane riding into the trees... Let's see what we got in here. Ha ha, cough, sneeze, hee-haw. Nothing. I'm very excited to continue this Let's Play. It's been a long time coming, guys. Look at these foolish elves. A plague of shadows advances on the forest. The sorcerer responsible for the spell has killed our king, and these elves continue to sport about and commingle in the tall grasses. They think they can laugh through the danger. They believe the god of the forest will protect Freywood merely because they live here. If the shadows are not stopped, they will learn otherwise. Before I do anything else, this is one of the only times in the game you actually have to use the Find spell. I think the other time was Laxalt's Spear Gun in the sunken ship in Thalassie. But it took me a long time to figure out exactly where the acorn I need from Freywood is. The acorn is the seed you need to weaken Grimnoth. Well, when my original playthrough, I searched and searched and searched, and I could not find it anywhere in Freywood. So, after some playing around, I tried, of course, search. And I found an acorn right beside me. Now, a much powerful version of this is the Find spell. And it finds all the acorns in the area. And it makes them all very easy to get a hold of. They end up being everywhere. The seed is an important component that can help us weaken Grimnoth. Keep it with you. And another acorn. Don't need more than one, so let's just continue. Once we have solved the darkness, we can once again make love in the warm sun. Not in America, you can't. That's how you get put in jail. This guy again, still laughing. And he's still laughing. Yeah, good for him. Ton Erlenbane. Why the long face? You are one of the few relatively unhappy elves in Freywood. I'm in good spirits most days. Just now I'm thinking of my dear father, recently deceased. A beautiful elf, always smiling, always an eye for the females, ever the clever prankster. He and his two friends, Tiernoth and Brenlin. They were three of the best I've ever seen. Pies in the face, rigged doorways, forged letters. Wasn't a joke they hadn't pulled. If they'd had a pinch of ambition, they could have been successful courtiers. They were that devious. But live by the joke, die by it. That's what killed father, a joke gone awry. Tiranoth and Brenlin pulled a fine one on him. They forged a letter from Lyda Ellen, a female father had long pined for. The letter told him that she and two friends would be out for their usual horseback ride in a clearing not far from here, and that he should plan on joining them. Now Lyda and her friends are experienced riders, and my father can hardly mount a horse without nearly breaking several of his and the horse's bones. But father borrows a horse, manages to mount it, and rides for the clearing, with Tirnoff and Brenlin secretly following him. Father arrives at the clearing, sees Lyda, and is so inspired by affection that he begins to turn tricks in the saddle. Handstands, pirouettes, all manner of contortions, all at a full gallop with his eyes on Lyda. Lyda giggled her approval. Tirnoff and Brenlin were dumbfounded at father's love-inspired grace. The sun shone bright, the men stared agape, the women applauded, and my father broke his neck as his horse raced into the forest, and a tree branch knocked him from his saddle. It's just my sister and me. Freywood is still a joy to us, but we miss father. You're a handsome male. I'm glad I don't have to compete with my sister for your affection. Well, good for her. You appear big and strong, and much more serious than these silly male elves. You must help me. My father, fearing for my virtue, locked me in a chastity belt, and hid the key. He is dead now, and all attempts to remove the belt have failed. I fear I shall wear this belt to my grave. Let me take a look at it. I think not. I can pick the lock. The best have tried and failed. I can cut you out of it. And cut me as well. No, you won't do that. Well, then it appears you will take that belt to your grave. I need someone to find the key for me. My father could never keep a secret to himself. My siblings, Rhiannon and Tun, don't know where it is, but someone must know where he hid the key. Father had 3 close friends, Tirnoth, Hagbard, and Brenlin. I've asked each to help me, but they've refused. If you could help me, I would owe you my happiness. Are you certain about this course of action? This belt preserves your virtue. But it is virtue at too great a cost. I wish to be free of this belt. So she wants to get out of her belt so she can go frolic with the male elves. This is as good as it gets, I say. The new king is taking it on all sides, humiliated in his own father's wake. What a daring attack. How does one repel it? The king is finished, I think, unless he can counterattack with something fantastically funny, I hope. Elves love jokes. I hope I saw you first, handsome warrior. Elf boys are fun, I guess, but you're much more solid and strong-looking. Elves can get so silly. All they want to do is flirt, drink berry wine, and fall asleep in the grass. Well, that sounds terrible. Who would want that? Turi Startide. Have you come looking for inspiration, human? Perhaps I can help. I'm a muse. Trust in me. Before the portal closed, I frequently appeared to human creators and aided their imaginations. Are you a sculptor? No, your fingers are not dirtied with stone, nor are your hands stained with paint. You must be a writer, then, in search of stories. Young wives cooking older, jealous husbands always make for good stories, as does an inveterate bachelor being quarreled by a much younger bride. No matter what plot you follow, be sure to add a few stock characters. A corrupt partner, a wand scholar, a pious nun. Audiences love this type of thing no matter how many times they've read it. I hope that it is of some help. If the portal is accessible again, I can return to Alonia with you and be your inspiration. Shall I come? Yes, we are going to take her. Because during this playthrough, I discovered actually where you can use her. There's a guy searching for a muse in Silvermore. I never realized it until I started doing this playthrough. So we're going to get rid of old, sorry Emperor Claret III. Already got his crown. Don't need him. We could use another soldier for our small army. Welcome, the greater our number, the greater our power against the dark sorcerer. And let's see what old Muse can do here. Stats completely useless. And she has absolutely nothing. Well, we're going to go ahead and take her back to Alonia, and then we'll come back and continue Freywood. Because I know there's other spots that I need to have available. And I don't quite want to get rid of her because I don't know if I can get her back. So we're going to take her along now. Seems kind of stupid to teleport, right beside, but, plenty of magic and all. Oh, I missed it. He was saying, should we give some money to these beggars? The village is full of creativity and culture. Now I know by doing this playthrough, I fast-tracked it, but I came across this guy in the tavern of Silvermore, begging for a muse. A muse who will help me. You didn't forget about me. Together, my new partner and I will tell new tales. We will compose tragedies and comedies, epic tales of heroism and villainy. I have hope again. Thank you. I promise to give you the most valuable thing I own. Please take this diamond. It is a precious family heirloom. Ah, diamond number 20. Yay. Yeah, what you just saw was, dare I say, human trafficking from Freywood to Alonia. Honestly, she did consent though, but she didn't get paid. She just wanted to be a muse again. So all in all, I think she won. For all you girls out there who want to sell yourselves for a diamond, yeah, don't do it. And I'll go ahead and run, well, fly, to Comington. It's not far. But it might take me to day 11. We'll see. And it did. So let's continue. Grimnoth is angered by your progress. Begone, Snake Man. These elves are slightly built. I fear my girth stands out even more than usual. Look, some of them openly belittle me. Those elf females are looking at me. Alright. Already talked to him and her. So let's move on around. To you. Did I talk to you yet? A human. Ah, the pranks become grander and grander. The new king seeks to consolidate his power, I think. Flirts this plague of darkness rumor that has every other elf scared out of their wits, and now a human, or something that looks very much like a human. It will take a wily elf indeed to dislodge this ruler. Checking all these buildings here. Usually if it's just one flower on the roof, there's nothing in there, but we'll see. But honestly, that's how you identify these places here, these buildings, is by the number of flowers on the roof. They all look very similar. And what do we got in here? Have you heard about the prank played on King Wilric at his father's wake? Excellent work. I'd like to meet the elf who pulled off that ploy. I'll bet he's a handsome rake. Here for the females, They are comely and beguiling, are they not? They run like deer, swim like fish, and smell of nectar and sweet earth. Who would not seek them? You agree, human? Yeah. Most human males do agree. I am renowned for my pranks, a political comber even. Dishonor one of the females, and the joke I play on you will be a killer. Well, damn. I hope I've made myself clear about the females. Racist? I was there when old Erlen Bane rode himself into those trees. I can still see him, kneeling in the saddle with both hands above his head, blowing kisses to Lyda and her friends, and then whack! That tree branch laid him low. Perhaps you know where he hid the key to his daughter Gwen's chastity belt. Surely he wouldn't have wanted her to remain like this all her life. No telling what Erlen Bane would have wanted. He was a strange little fellow. I suppose going through life wearing a chastity belt is a sorry fate for a young lass. Still, Erlen Bane did make me swear to keep the location of the key a secret. Of course he is dead, and telling you would be like playing one more prank on him. This is a difficult decision. I believe I shall need an inducement to speak. A bribe of 27 gold pieces. Should loosen my tongue. Will you give me that amount for the location of the key? Yes. Yes, just as I thought. 27 gold pieces are sufficient prompt for me to tell you where the key to the chastity belt is hidden. It is buried beneath the floor of a large hut that is north of the northeast corner of the castle, and situated between a patch of purple trees and a patch of orange trees. The roof of the hut is decorated with blue and red flowers. You will need this key to open the lock. Glad I could help you. The hut may be locked. Here are some lockpicks that should get you in, if you have the skill. Okay. You are obviously a traveler and obviously far from home. If you have need of an apothecary's services, you'll find I mix the finest drugs and potions. Ask anyone in town. They'll tell you I'm the best at what I do. Maybe we can do business someday. You were staring at me. Do you find me pretty? I think you are pretty. A little brutish, but pretty. There is much dust on your clothes, and you seem tired. You need to bathe in cool water. If you like, I'll apply medicinal leaves to your cuts and bruises and rub your muscles. My muscles certainly are sore. My friends and I were swimming together today. We took our clothes off and splashed about for hours. It was fun. When we were finished, we flung ourselves onto the shore of the lake, but our bodies made the earth wet, and we got mud on us and had to go back in the water. Hello, human. We have not had your kind in Freywood for years. Some elves find humans too serious and physically repulsive, but my friends and I have celebrated with humans and found them good friends. If you'd like, I'm going to swim and then lie in the sun. I have a skin of wine and several ripe peaches. You look weary from your travel. Why not join me? A tempting offer, but I am on an important quest, one that I cannot interrupt for my own pleasure. Some of us more mature elves are heading for a nearby grotto where we'll put the spit to the flame, uncork the wine, and feast, sing, and enjoy the dance. Elves are just a bunch of partiers. I hope I've made myself clear about the females. they're coming on to me, dude. Right, let's try this one. I was a friend of Dut Erlenbane. His death was tragic. Admittingly, it was amusing. The stupid horse tricks and all, but still tragic. Equally tragic is the fate befallen his daughter, Gwen, who is locked in a chastity belt that seemingly has no key. Did Dut mention anything to you about where the key might be hidden? I wouldn't know. Dut and I were pals, not secret sharers. Telling him a secret was like telling him to use it against you in a prank. His closest friends were Tyrnoth and Brenlin. They should be easy to find, although you'd best hurry with Brenlin, who awaits a royal sentence in the matter of his lethal joke. He's in a prison hut southeast of here. It lies between a large circle of orange trees to the west and purple trees in the east. It is a small hut with a single red flower on its roof. Tyrnoth's hut is a short walk southwest from here. It lies just south of the apothecary shop and has red and blue flowers on the roof. Alright, so he's in a red hut. Let's go see if we can find that place above the castle the other dude was talking about. It's difficult to look at the barren places and imagine that life once blossomed there. In fact, my mate and I first lay together in a thicket that was once where the sand is now. Luckily, Freywood is a big place with many thickets. Look at all this sand creeping over a little more of the forest each day, obliterating more and more vegetation. I love it. Do you know how many really good jokes and pranks require sand? Do you have any idea how hard sand is to find among the fertile soil of Freywood? You have to dig sometimes 10 or 15 feet into the ground. You end up with calluses on your hands. Believe me, the females don't like that. There is food here if you are hungry, muscle-bound one. Pardon my appetite. I've just bested 6 other elves in an archery contest. 6 consecutive bullseyes. Zang, thwap, 6 times. They were astounded by my skill. The females applauded and wooed me. What a day, friend. What a day. It has been some time since I could boast of a similar day. I am on a quest for the sorcerer who killed my father and your king, the same wizard who is responsible for the plague of darkness threatening Alonia and Freywood. I've heard the scare stories about this shadow plague. Where is it? I can see with ease. Look at how bright the sun is. Still, this journey of yours sounds like great fun. I tire of shooting at still targets. Should I join you? Sure, why not? I got a space available, and let's check this elf out. I didn't even know I could recruit him. Pentine. 210 with missiles. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we're going to give him something else. Yeah, no worries. He can use what he has. We're not keeping him anyway. He's a placeholder. Been on the road a while, huh? You're probably more than a little Randy, huh? My name's not Randy. You seem as serious as autumn, my friend. It is always spring here. Come with me to those females there. We will race them to the water and then swim. We know many water games. Think it over. If the rumors of shadows bother you, don't worry. We elves see very well. I shall be your guide. Door is locked. Cast spell. Open lock. Alright, I think I missed. Lock has been opened. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, a shaggy beast. tracks archers. So it looks like old Tiernoth wanted to kill me. So we're gonna go talk to him. You're a magic user, stay over there. And that's all I need for Knights of Virtue. Old Pentine, he's just, yeah, there we go. And let's go ahead and enter quick combat, see what happens. Oh sure, attack the elf first. As I said, made myself pretty powerful. But that was the archers anyway, and I didn't adjust them. Nothing in here. Well, let's see if I can find... Well, let's talk to these dudes first. What god do you worship, Holy One? We are not here to worship, but to commune with the green, with the spirit of the forest. Our duty is to monitor the link with the other trees, to immerse in splendid communion with the ghosts of the forest. Alright. We elves of Freywood share a link with the forest. Those of us in whom the link is strongest take turns communing with the green. I don't understand. You're talking to the trees? Not to the trees, to the forest. The forest that exists in Freywood and that which exists in Alonia. You look surprised, but I know of your realm. All the elves in Freywood do. This realm is an aspect of the great forest you call Comington, and is as much a part of that forest as the plants and animals. As Comington flourishes, so does Freywood, and any threat to Comington is a threat to us. Most elves don't yet realize it, but Freywood is in danger. We depend on Comington Forest for our lives, and that forest is now under siege by humans who cut its trees at an alarming rate. Alonians have taken wood from Comington for many years. You say we must stop? Not a matter of what I say, but of what is. In the last year, cutters have taken trees faster and faster, leaving Comington less and less time to replace our losses. The forest suffers, and Freywood with it. Look to the barren spots in the east. Freywood recedes as Comington diminishes. Interesting. No one in here. I wish I remembered where old dude is. No. There he is. So, have you found that chastity belt key yet? Prick. Alright. So let's move on. Kinda wanna attack him. Can I sell to you, human? You are a human, aren't you? I'm a seller of potions and herbs. You can buy from others, someone like Ladrian, but they're all cheapjacks. If you want quality, you should deal with me. I hope we can do business, human. Alright, so there's the castle. It said the other guy was in a prison. This it? No. And this. There we go. Brenlin, a human, great, just what I need. Let me guess, you've come to be cheered up by frolicking elves. Here, how's this? Ah, look at the comely elfin females. Let's have at them, shall we? My pleasure to turn a few cartwheels for you. Maybe a spot of juggling. What else? Let's be sure to get the total experience. Of course, a joke. My parents were like a soldier coming to attention. Two heels coming together. Ha ha! You feel better now? You're quite high-strung for an elf. Well, I'm in prison for killing my best friend with a joke. The trees are dying, and a plague of shadows threatens the realm. I think that's reason to be less than cheery. The thing that bothers me, and would bother Dut, if he were still alive, is that pranks are supposed to sting without hurting. That's the whole art. That's the secret to happiness. And my failure killed my friend. It's not too late to help Erlen Bane's daughter. Can you tell me where he hid the key to her chastity belt? Like Gwynia, of course you do. She's a sweet-scented, long-legged beauty. I'd like to help both you and her, but I promised her father I'd keep the location of the key secret, and well, I did kill him. I think I owe it to him to keep his secret. This I will say. I'm not the only one who knows. Speak to her siblings and question them closely. One of them may know more than you'd think. Alright, before we continue, we are going to go ahead and stop right here for this Let's Play. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, like and comment below. Any questions, go ahead and leave them. I will reply as soon as I can. Back in the game now, so let's do it. Take it easy, gamers.